are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq condoles the King of Morocco on the victims of the devastating earthquake that struck the city of Marrakesh. Greetings of His Majesty the Sultan and his best wishes for the 18th G20 summit with great success were conveyed by His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Said during the leading Sultanate of Oman delegation participating in the G20 summit. And over 1,037 people died in the massive earthquake that struck Moroccan city of Marrakesh. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of condolences to His Majesty King Mohammed VI of the Kingdom of Morocco on the victims of the devastating earthquake that struck Al Hous province southwest of the city of Marrakesh. Representing His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq, His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Said, Deputy Prime Minister for International Relations and Cooperation Affairs and Special Representative of His Majesty the Sultan, is leading the Sultanate of Oman delegation participating in the Group of 20 G20 summit, which started in the Indian capital New Delhi today. In a speech he delivered during the opening of the summit, His Highness conveyed the greetings of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq and his best wishes for the 18th G20 summit with great success, and His Majesty's sincere appreciation for the work accomplished in various tracks throughout the period of the Indian presidency. His Highness welcomed the Indian presidency title for this year's edition of the G20 One Land, One Family, One Future, stressing the importance of joint work not only for the sake of preserving and protecting the earth, but for the progress and prosperity of all humanity. His Highness added that the Sultanate of Oman believes in the spirit of cooperation and shared responsibility and is committed to them in pursuit of the public benefit. Therefore, is aware of its role, responsibility, and commitment to the visions of the international community and its many initiatives in order to achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Said pointed out that the Sultanate of Oman looks forward to continuing and strengthening cooperation and partnership with all G20 countries and in all desired fields that benefit everyone. The G20 summit discusses today and tomorrow a number of current international issues, the most prominent which are the Ukraine crisis, climate change, and economic updates. The summit came to shed light on the challenges facing the world countries in various fields in addition to finding proper solutions for them. The host country, India, sees that this year's theme delivers a great message to the world, seeking to achieve a fair development and growth for all, as well as discussing the economic growth, technological transformation, infrastructure, and digital aspects. During the summit, the G20 welcomed the membership of the African Union. The Sultanate of Oman expressed its sympathy with the government and the people of the Kingdom of Morocco following the earthquake that struck Marrakesh. In a statement issued by the Foreign Ministry, it conveyed its sincere condolences to the families of the victims and expressed its heartfelt wishes for the speedy recovery of the injured. The death toll in the massive earthquake that struck Morocco has climbed to 1,037 people. Moroccan state television reports citing the Interior Ministry. Some 1,204 others were injured, including 721 with serious wounds, due to the earthquake that rattled several areas in North African country, and ministry's officials says in a televised update. In the province of Al-Houz, the epicenter of the earthquake, 542 fatalities have been registered according to the ministry. Meanwhile, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan met with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in Russia's Black Sea resort of Sochi for talks on the revival of the Black Sea Green Deal. The message he conveyed to the world on the Black Sea Green Initiative after the meeting is a step towards underdeveloping African countries, which will be essential, Erdogan told media in a brief statement before his first face-to-face meeting with Putin since the October last year. Erdogan said that Turkey has agreed to process 1 million tons of grain provided by Russia into flour and transport it to poor countries. Turkey has prepared a new package of proposals for the revival of the Black Sea Green Deal, hoping to achieve positive results. Cleanup and rescue operations were underway across the southern China province of Guangdong as residual storm clouds from Typhoon Haikyuu unleashed historic rainfall. In Shenzhen, people were seen clearing mud and excess water at a railway station as residents holding into safety lines stepped gingerly through the knee-deep water, footage from state media showed. A rainfall log showed 465 millimeters of rain had fallen in Shenzhen over a 12-hour period, the most since records there began in 1952. The China Meteorological Administration said heavy rain fell early today on the central and southwestern areas of Guangdong province. Rescue teams took people out of flood waters in an inflatable boats and bulldozers today as they moved into the villages hit hardest by the sweeping rainstorm that killed at least 10 people in central Greece this week. Storm Danielle, which meteorologists said was the worst to hit the country since records began there in 1930, pummeled Greece for 3 days from Tuesday, leaving a trail of ruin after a record summer of heat wave that had touched off huge wildfires. Authorities who have struggled to evacuate people from flooded areas. 4 people have been reported missing, they said. The rescue teams were moving into the villages near the city of Larissa and close to the river Pinos. The fire bridge has so far evacuated 2,806 people across the country. In Thessaly region, many residents were airlifted from the rooftops of the submerged homes. The Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology revealed that the total number of government websites connected through the Unified Government Network reached 1,233 government websites by the end of the first half of this year. Among them, 23 are new government websites, and 63 government websites are connected to the high-speed Unified Government Network. The number of entities in the state's administrative apparatus that provide services through the Government Integration Platform reached 32 entities, while the number of entities benefiting from the service reached 64, including 60 units from the state's administrative apparatus and 4 entities from the private sector. The connection aims to achieve secure communication between government institutions and improve electronic services. The operating revenues of Nama Group increased by 21.2% during the past year. By the end of the year 2022, the group achieved a significant increase in its pre-tax profits, reaching approximately 140 million Omani riyals. Nama Group has also implemented a series of initiatives related to green energy and sustainability. It has launched several tenders for renewable energy projects. It's expected that these plants will generate nearly 1,000 megawatts over the next 3 years alone. Stock prices in Muscat Stock Exchange declined last week after the announcement that the subscription in OQ Gas Networks company will end by the end of this month. The value of traded stock last week dropped by 33% to reach 10.5 million Omani riyals. The total market capitalization of the exchange also decreased to 23.68 billion Omani riyals at the end of Thursday's trading. The main index of the stock market declined by about 109 points, and the market closed at 4,690 points. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Youth, in cooperation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, concluded yesterday the activities of the Young Ambassador Program. The event was presided over by His Excellency Khalid bin Salim Al Ghassani, advisor to the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Youth. We have more details in the following report.
Stemming from the mandate to expand youth participation in social and economic development and provide them with the knowledge and skills necessary to take part in regional and international events, the Ministry of Culture, Sports and Youth, in cooperation with the Foreign Ministry and the United Nations Institute for Training and Research, concluded the first edition of the Young Ambassadors Program.
To prepare the youth to be or to act in a diplomatic way. So this program aimed to raise or to develop the skills of the youth in a diplomatic manner in order to hopefully in the future represent Oman in the diplomatic affairs and diplomatic or the councils in the United Nations.
The participants gained access to various training courses in diplomacy, leadership, media and cultural identity, as well as training simulation sessions for regional and international meetings, such as the United Nations Youth Model.
It was a pleasure being part of this program as it allowed me to expand my horizons in various sectors. I was able to learn what a diplomat is and how to act as a diplomat, and most importantly, what's the personality of a Omani diplomatic. I was able to expand so many skills through the workshops that was presented and with the activities presented by the UNITA. And within those workshops, it allowed me to enhance so many skills such as communication, active listening, and most importantly, how to think strategically.
I'm very happy how the government invest in the youth here, and I'm very happy how I learn a lot of things, a lot of different things like writing skills and how I think directly of many different things about economy, about a lot of different things. So I think this thing is very important, how we can invest in the youth in the futures.
The program helped the participants address significant global and regional issues faced by youth worldwide and explore mechanisms for their resolution.
The endeavor here is to equip young individuals with relevant skills, not only to contribute to sustainable development, but also to represent Oman on international arenas. Salih Bakhalfan al-Rahbi, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
Thank you, Saleh. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we enter tonight's news bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq condoles the King of Morocco on the victims of the devastating earthquake that struck the city of Marrakesh. Greetings of His Majesty the Sultan and his best wishes for the 18th G20 summit with great success are conveyed by His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Saeed. And over 1,037 people died in the massive earthquake that struck Moroccan city of Marrakesh. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, we convey our condolences to the Moroccan people. Good night.